Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the show. I'm Tex Homer, joined by former players Drew Kelson and Jet Bush. Today, I will present them with true or false statements about the upcoming season, and we will talk about or debate what we think is going to happen. Before we do that, head over to Inside Texas, where you can join for $1 and then 50% off your first year. Link is down in that description below. Seriously, you're going to get that whole year for half off. So, season's about to start. So, this is the perfect time as it gets crazy. All right. So I broke it down kind of offense, defense, schedule, and then postseason. We will start with the offense. I will present the phrase, and you will tell me if it's true or false. First true or false statement. Arch Manning will account for 30 plus total touchdowns. True or false, gentlemen?
That's true.
True on that one for sure.
Okay, so context, last season he had 26. So pretty close, right? And that was with the super weird beginning to the season. And then the highest last year was Mendoza. He had 41, but the next highest was 28. So only one player last year, and it was Mendoza by a lot, even had 30 plus total touchdowns. But Arch was close to that at 26. Better receivers, better running backs, all these system things that can help him out to show off. So we'll see. But do the running backs steal some of the rushing touchdowns? I'm going to have to go with true, but barely for Arch Manning is my thought. All right. Next, true or false statement. Texas will have two running backs eclipse 800 yards next season.
False.
False. Jet.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think they're both really good, but you kind of want to see somebody you can really depend on, you know what I mean? Even if you have Reggie Bush and Lindell White, you know what I mean? You still got Reggie Bush.
Yeah. So. And Sark does like the one, he likes to say, I have 1,000-yard back, right? So it has to be something like
that's a big deal to him. He likes to have 1,000-yard back. You know, that's whether he was in the NFL or NCAA, that's a big deal for him, even all the way back in Atlanta and before. So, you know, we definitely expect to see that. And then, you know, he likes the scat backs too, you know, Keelan Robinson-esque, Jaden Blue-esque, those type of people, kind of little dump offs, little screens, anything you kind of need. They're going to get theirs too, for sure.
Same thing, Drew. You think they're going to end up stealing from each other, or one's going to take the lead?
Honestly, I think it really comes down to the O-line. If we have a great O-line, that means multiple backs can come in regardless, can eat, right? I mean, to get to that level, it requires a great O-line. Otherwise, you really have to rely on the guy that has a collection of skill sets that, he can work best with this O-line. And that's where you really get down to that one key player that stands out. So, depending on how the O-line brings it, I really think, we can have multiple guys perform. Otherwise, I do think Sark will find his guy that can just really go for him, and we'll ride that one.
Yeah, I mean, I could go back and forth on this one, to be honest. I'm a big two-back guy, all the way Seattle this year, all the way back to the Pony Express. Like, it's through and through. It's something true to football. I think you need two good running backs. And, I see us, playing really good. So if you're going to run it up like JB did, kind of his – right before Bijan left, it was like, here's our backup running back, but really it's Jonathan Brooks. You know what I mean? So it's like he's going to get his as well, and he's going to go and take off for a 40, 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, my original thought here, Chris, was to say 1,000-yard rushers, but I was like, that's way too high. And then I went to 700, and I was like, I think the distribution will be something like one of the backs will have 1,000, and the other one will have like 700.
Go real Vegas and go like 750 and a half.
So that's what I was doing. Like when I was writing these, I was like, 1,000's crazy. I was like, I feel like 700's too easy. If I put them both at 800, otherwise, because a lot of these I ended up writing, they just end up feeling true. And I was like, I need some in there where there's some debate. Next up in the running back camp, true or false? Hollywood Smothers will have the most explosive runs, meaning runs over 20 plus yards. Hollywood Smothers. My first initial thought here is false.
False.
I mean, I love the name, but I'll go with I'll agree with y'all on this one.
So to me, it's false because I believe that will be Raleek Brown. So he has more speed than Smothers. So I actually think it is false because I think Raleek Brown will have the most explosive runs. Okay. This one kind of follows up here. This piggybacks on it. True or false? Hollywood Smothers will finish first on the team in rushing yards. I think this could be true, even though it's not coming from explosive yards. That's where I think it could get tricky. He's a little bit more like pick up five. And I think that consistency will help him, but I don't think he's going to be the most explosive runner.
That's fair. I think it also comes back down to run distribution and how Sark wants to do it. I mean, I love a guy who can always find 5 or 6 yards, but if Raleek Brown is more feast or famine, then maybe we will see more Hollywood Smothers. So.
And I think Raleek's going to get more pass receptions.
Right.
I think like Raleek is like he'll end up kind of getting pulled because he'll have 2 big, huge runs that stick out in the mind of the coach, and then also he'll be getting a lot of receptions. So I think that's going to be the split. So I think it could be true that Hollywood Smothers will finish first on the team in rushing yards because Raleek is going to do everything on the periphery more.
I like how we're visualizing the season here.
Yes.
Yeah, we're really seeing it, boys. All right, next up. Well, I kind of cheated my next one. True or false? Raleek Brown will lead all Texas running backs in receptions. I think that is true.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
True as well. All right. Now we're going to go to wide receivers. Now we have the 1,000 yards. True or false? Texas will produce 2 1,000-yard receivers.
Is that like crazy? I'm not like the best. Is that crazy good? Like to have 2 on? I mean, I'm assuming it's great, but like, has it been like? What are we talking about? Like, how crazy is that?
It's not. You could have it in a season.
Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go no on this one, just because unless there's like a crazy obvious number 2. Like I think Wingo can do it. Like I think we all expect Cam Coleman to do it. Is like my assumption here, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, all right, who's gonna do it? Like clearly. If he just stays healthy, I would say, you got a good shot. I'll say you got a good shot if he's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a lot of places to distribute the ball. And frankly, I think Emmett Mosley he's going to get some touches too. So when you distribute across the board, I just don't see having multiple 1,000-yard receivers. But, dude, this will be a year.
That's why I thought it was fun because they have receivers. Arch is going to throw it and Sark's going to throw it. But I think there's too many receivers here that would limit it. So if the question was produce 1,000-yard receiver, I think it's true.
I'm excited to see Mosley. I hope I don't think the tight end has been as effective since Gunner's left. And I definitely noticed it last year. Like I was like, we're not getting the tight end nearly as much. So I want to see some action. I'm a big believer in the tight end position. I like getting them the ball. Talk about somebody who can get you 5 or 6 yards after contact. I'm about it.
So Chris points out Shipley and Cosby in 08. Both.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Chris.
And then it happens, I wasn't even thinking in the Texas Pantheon, just kind of looking through college football. It's a thing that you would point at. It happens. But it is pretty tough. And with this many receivers, I have to go also with false. I think we'll get 1,000-yard receiver here. The next true or false. True or false, Cam Coleman will lead the team in receptions.
Yeah, probably.
I think he's going to have to, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he'll be over covered, but he's one of those guys you just got to get touches. And I do think, I believe we'll see him featured in ways differently than he was ever featured before at Auburn. So, he's literally playing a position where he's supposed to get those touches. That's what he's here for. So, it's definitely possible. I think Emmett Mosley will give him a run for his money just on reliability and ability within the offense. But, Cam Coleman, I think that's true.
So 2 things I think. One, Sark will spam another number 1 receiver. We've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, players not plays at the end of the day. Like, especially
he will spam them. But
yeah,
when I think receptions, I think all parts of the field. I think Sark will integrate that, but Cam at Auburn, and this is Auburn, only got it deep. right? So if you end up in that situation, or the O-line sucks and we are spamming, but it's just Cam going deep, I think that'll take down your reception. Now, if Arch and Cam are like electric deep and he has 2 touchdowns every game, there's not really a reason to feed him either. So ultimately, lead the team in receptions. I will have to go with True, but it totally depends on the game state, how much he uses him at different parts of the field, and then his level of success. If he has a bunch of success, it could actually limit his receptions. So that's a factor. But I go with it's lightly True right now. Next, true or false? Jermaine Bishop will be a starting receiver, one of the starting 3, by the end of the regular season. This one's tough because that's my heart. My heart, I love Bishop, but I also love Mosley. And so that's where it's tricky for me because I don't think it'd be Wingo getting pulled. I think it would be Mosley in the slot because Bishop profiles more to a slot, even though I know he's played some Z. But he's going to start on defense. Hopefully not at corner. I think ultimately, this is false, but barely. I think you could get in a situation where Mosley is starting every game. He's the first receiver to walk on the field, but Bishop gets more and more integrated as the season goes on.
Yeah. I don't know enough about it, so I'm just going to have to go with your expertise on this one.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it firsthand, clearly.
Yep. I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to make a splash, but I don't think he's technically going to be the first player on the field by the end of the regular season.
But like a strong 6 man.
I'll say this. If he does turn out to be a starter by the end of this year, that really means he's level.
I think he is a starter. I just think it's complex, right? Like, first off, Mosley and all of them are going to be older, and Mosley's going to be good. We'll talk about him here in a second, whether true or false. So it's like I don't think he gets a technical start, but I think Bishop is like potentially the star receiver for the next 2 years at least after that. Chat, what do you guys think? True or false on that? Jermaine Bishop will be the starting receiver by the end of the regular season. We're going to
the chat.
True or false? Ryan Wingo will score double-digit touchdowns. Ryan Wingo had 7 touchdowns last year, and 9 players last season did score double-digit touchdowns at wide receiver. So he'd have to be basically a top 10 receiver in that, and he was 3 away last year.
I'm going to go true on this one. I think if anything, Cam Coleman coming in helps him get more exposure, because everybody's going to be distracted by Cam Coleman, just assuming doing a jump ball in the corner 50% of the time. So he'll get his there, and then his explosives on top of that. Like we've seen him take screens to the house. So why not?
I think it's true as well. Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, he has to, right? I think it has to happen that way. I mean, you do have some guys, whether it be Day-Day, McCutcheon, some guys that may rotate in off the bench that really have shown the ability to be great in the red zone. But I just think the skills that Ryan has overall stand out. Also, if you've heard a few of these interviews Sark has done, especially this summer, he keeps trying to remind people, like, don't forget, we have a guy named Ryan Wingo who's pretty good. So I do think Sark is going to try to remind some people of what Ryan is what he's capable of. But also he takes responsibility in featuring Ryan in a way to show what he's capable of.
I think Ryan's going to get 3 or 4 of those off of just screens where he houses it. So really, he only needs to score like 7 or 6 like true downfield touchdowns,
Maybe even 5 because he'll have a post or a go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So it's like he doesn't have to do a ton of crazy downfield stuff either because he's so dynamic in the screen game. Next up, true or false? I'll give you some context after this. True or false? Emmett Mosley will catch at least 50 passes. So he had 28 last year. He was injured for a significant part of the season last year as well. And then 67 receivers last year caught 50-plus balls. But we had Jordan no, my bad. Let me see. Make sure I have this note right. Yeah, 67 players did catch 50-plus. But I thought about Jordan Whittington, who played that number 3 spot, and he only got 50 receptions one season. So Sark can underutilize that slot, underutilize that third receiver. So true or false, Emmett Mosley will catch 50 passes.
I'll say false. That number is just it's a stretch. If our run game is even marginally better, I expect we just won't need to. We just won't have to feed him with that amount of volume. I think for a receiver at his position, if he's going to be a number 3 receiver to have 50 passes, I mean that means we're leading with the pass. Which I know with Quinn, we weren't great running the ball, so we had to throw it around a bit more. We were confident in doing that with Quinn. I just don't see that being the case this year, as I expect us to be a bit more balanced. So, I want to see him eat, but 50 is a big number.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Drew on this one. I'm just third receiver, and we'll see, I'm
going to go false too, because like I said, Jay Witt only got to 50 once. And then this year we have more dominant receivers, and then also running backs will take a lot of the receptions, and then whatever we end up allocating the tight ends. It's just going to be hard for a number 3 receiver to have that many catches. I think he's going to be impactful way under that number. Let's talk some offensive line. True or false? Texas offensive line will give up less than 15 sacks this year. They gave up 23 last year.
True.
I'm just going to have to say true, because why not? I want them definitely, I expect 0 from Trevor Gooseby. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So,
I think we can get under 15 with Siani, with Gooseby. The leak would come from the interior, but I think Seymour's better there. Brandon Baker's a former tackle, so more of a pass blocker there too. I think we'll have less, and I think Arch will get even better at avoidance as well. So I think it is true. Texas offensive line will give up less than 15 sacks.
How many false starts are we going to have?
Yeah, I did think about these, but I didn't know where to set the line. I didn't know what number. It was too tricky. So are we just talking about regular season? We kind of cheat it. We go in and out depending on the situation.
Dynamic conversation.
Yeah.
Sacks were total last year, but that was, regular season plus a bowl. So I would say regular season and then a bowl. I don't think we can account playoffs, like a 5-game, whatever playoff run with sacks there. So I'd say regular season, and then I'll allow a bowl to match it to last year's sacks. All right. True or false? Texas will have 2 all-SEC offensive linemen. Hook them. True. All right, true. I think Gooseby will get one spot.
Gooseby is like my lock on a top 10 draft pick for sure. I mean, the guy's ginormous.
Yep.
And
but can Siani do it?
I just expect we have somebody else as well, pretty much.
So that's the thing, because it's like, are they going to give? And this is getting a little technical, but like, would they give both Texas tackles all SEC? So it's like that's hard with Siani.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you mean first team and second team, right?
I know. I'm going. Yeah.
It's strictly. Are we going first and second?
Yeah, I'm going like first.
Yeah.
Okay, first team. I definitely think Goosby's a lock, but I do think the PR on the O-line piece is just really tough. Like whoever's going to be first team this year, they're going to have to really suck to be first team to postseason. But I will say, if we do one of the big marketing campaigns that Michigan and some of these other schools seem to do with their O-line, where they just all of a sudden at the end of the year, everyone knows every O-lineman, and there's this brotherhood, and I think we're a lock there. But we gotta do some more PR for the O-lineman.
I think all SEC offensive linemen, first team, false. I think Trevor Gooseby gets the first rank, and then I think we get like a second teamer.
Yeah. By the way, I'm with you on false. We need a PR campaign to make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, I'll agree.
Final one of offense. True or false? Texas will have a top 5 scoring offense next season.
Dude, we better. I'm going to be real disappointed.
I think, better in what we're going to do.
Absolutely. 100. I hope.
Yeah. I hope it is. So we haven't had anywhere close to that with Sark, even in the 5 years. We've struggled there. Also, Sark, it's all gas, no brakes.
Yeah, it's always like
that's marketing. But in the third quarter, we decide we want to start doing game control. Good. So even should and what we will do, I think, are different things.
Got to call your shot, Jet. This is one of the subs. You tell me this
red zone is a very hot topic over the years for sure, especially the goal line. You know what I mean? So
I think it's ultimately false, but I think I switch back and forth. Really, I think the line should be like top 15 scoring offense. I think you could do that. That's something we really haven't done either.
Who's like the tops? Is it like Western Kentucky or somebody like who is?
So when I looked at it, that's the problem is like we're including.
You know what I mean? Are we counting like that, or can we just?
I would say Power
5.
Yeah,
not counting basically half of the ACC.
No, you have to. It's Power 4. You have to count the ACC, but you just can't go with the cool, trendy.
Let's just go with the ones that we would only play in a video game.
yeah, exactly. I think it is false. But they should be in the top 15. There's no reason with like an offensive-minded head coach and these players, you shouldn't be in the top 15.
I'll go true with pure optimism.
Okay.
Call your shot, dude.
Next up is going to be the defense, but before we do that, let's hear a word from David.
Big financial decisions don't have to feel overwhelming. There's someone who can guide you every step of the way. David McClellan is a fiduciary financial advisor with Forum Financial, and he's working closely with his clients as a true financial life coach, guiding every aspect of your financial journey with expertise and care. If his name sounds familiar, that's because David was a swimmer at Texas and a member of several national championship teams. Today, he channels that same championship mindset into helping people win with their finances. David specializes in financial planning, and he's contributed numerous articles to Kiplinger on the topic of retirement tax bombs. And right now, David is offering viewers a free intro consultation to assess your financial situation. Do not miss this chance to get personalized guidance from a trusted expert. To schedule your free consult, email David at dmcclellan@forumfinancial.com, or you can call him directly at 312-933-8823. The contact info is in the description.
Good evening, Roaster. All right, let's go to the defense, true or false. The defense will be better than last year's unit. So I thought of attaching a metric to this, but this is more vibes. True or false? The defense will be better than last year's unit. Don't think of T'Vondre Sweat. Don't think of last year's. True.
I can watch the film.
Yeah. I think there will be less bus. I think the secondary will not, in the second half of the season, get numbers ran up on them all the time. And then also, we just have a lot of talent, man. Like that defensive line is awesome. Rasheem Biles is awesome. Young corners who are not even young with Bo, but potential energy at the corner spot. I think it's also true. This unit will be better than last year's. And that's not just like Muschamp fan hype. It's like actual on the field stuff.
Jay wants us to hold the edge this year.
We got to hold the edge. True or false?
We have a mid front. So it'd be, if we can't hold the edge, we got a lot of problems.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
You pointed that out at like San Jose State. And you were like, this is going to be a problem all year. And you were right.
Yeah. Well, that was different. So let me break this down. Mid front, 3 down men. We got 2 outside linebackers to the edge.
Yep.
We'll be solid.
Yeah.
It's wider, basically.
Yeah. True or false? Colin Simmons will have more sacks than last season. He had 12.
Yes. He's better, bigger, faster, stronger. Yes.
I feel like every season, or at least last 2, Colin, even last year, started pressing and started early where everyone was like, man, I'm not getting stuff going. Mm-hmm. Then he just gets them in bunches. Like it happens. So he'll have plenty of opportunities.
So that's what I was saying. So the leader last year was Bailey at Tech, and he only did 14.5. So there wasn't a ton of wiggle room. Now the mint front thing too, I think, is a factor, right? Like how much mint do we play? Because he's in the jack spot, and a lot of time he has to, I can't remember, he has to cover the flats at some level or number 3 or something, right? So he's not necessarily a pass rusher. That's on standard downs. Now, if they're really good on those standard downs, then they're going to get their pass rush opportunities, right? Maybe that's where he gets it. But I'm going to, at 12, man, knowing the ceiling, I'm honestly going to say false.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it could be like 11 or something like that. I think he's awesome, and I think if you just let him pass rush every time, he could get 18. I just think he's going to end up being in the flats more than he was.
Not on known passing downs, dude.
I don't think he's
but I think he can.
How often do you see TJ Watt? I mean, in the flats?
You'll never see him in the flats.
They do the same thing. And TJ Watt, you see him get a pick once every 2-3 years because nobody expects him to be in the flats, pretty much.
It's how much do you play mint? That's the only
But
thing.
it's
that
not,
matters.
because you can run BCB on the outside, like you can contain from the B gap in a 4-eye on the field, and you'll just basically turn it a 4 down. Like it's just from a mitt. And so what that does is basically give a one-on-one to Colin every time. And if anything, the running backs, the only thing that I'm worried about is the running back chipping, which isn't going to be that big of a deal. He can deal with that, or the tight end.
Or are you saying he can add on easy if the back stays?
Well, no, that's more like the linebackers adding, like what's the Biles or the who's the new linebacker for Pitt? He's gonna be, that's his trigger. So as soon as dude, when I am man on a running back, I'm not even gonna make you run a route. I'm just gonna sprint at you through the B gap as hard as I can, because I know you're just checking. And so if you check, I'm just gonna make you check and catch me on the one. So I know I got a one-on-one with a running back. He's just gonna do that every time. And then you've got, Colin as a jack off the edge on top of that with 4 eyes. So, I mean,
y'all are both true. That's my thing. I have variables because more means 13, and so it's like, will he get 13 on? Is he going to rush as much on standard downs? That's the question for me.
Yeah,
he can. Sure. I mean, there's ways, but and also too, to y'all's point, he was slow to get his sacks going last year. Like he was pushing for like 3 or 4 games, right? And then they started to come. If he can day one start doing that, I think that's a point to y'all. I'll stick it false because I think he'll either be at 12 or 11. But
I completely. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I would just say I'm gonna go with true, but I'm just gonna say like don't expect him to be out there as nearly as much. He might like play or whatever, but if I'm a coach, I'm being like, dude, don't be out there. Linebacker go. Don't let the B gap slip open, so we don't have to, worry about the wheel side linebacker like being out of place, and just kind of stay strong. You know what I mean? So I mean, I wouldn't want him. I'm not calling plays to put him out there.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? You know what I mean? Like he's the best in the country.
Yeah, and we've done a bunch of stuff with Pack on the school series, and still we're just like, man, how could you not want him off the edge as much as you could? Next up, true or false? Rasheed Biles will lead the team in tackles. We've had safeties leading the teams too.
I bet that's an emphasis this year. I bet that's getting preached in the linebacker room to him for sure. So I bet it's a goal there. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you think it's true, Jeff?
Yes. I mean, he's. It's the offense is built. I mean, the defense is built for him to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's proved. I mean, look at his film. He just covers from sideline to sideline. He knows how to knife through the defense. He knows how to take on blocks when he needs to, or cut around blocks. So, he'd be my guess.
I'm Biles' number one propagandist out here in the media world, so I'll also go with true here. I think Biles is dope. All right. True or false? Cade Phillips will lead the team in interceptions. So right now it should be Cade and Bo Masco. But is Bo Masco in man a lot? Is he going to have all the opportunities for the picks? These are the questions you guys should debate amongst yourself on whether it'll be true or false. He's also a young player, but he's a talented player.
I'm going to say false.
Did Jalen Ford not lead our team in interceptions?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You want to say?
And it could be a safety.
I want to say
could be a safety too.
Who are we just talking about? I want to say him.
Cade or
Biles?
I think he'll have some picks.
You think Biles is going to have some picks?
I think he'll be close to first, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's second. But first, I don't know.
So ultimate, likely false, right?
Likely false. I'll go with a likely false.
I'm going to go with likely false too, not because of anything with Cade Phillips, but I think Bo could be the leader. Depends on how much man, like if he's looking for the ball or not. But I would think it'd be Bo before it'd be Cade, but that could be scheme dependent. Victor says he thinks it's true for Phillips that'll lead the team in picks. Also, safeties can do it. Biles can do it. There's a lot of
Littleton. I want to see Grayson bounce back.
That'd be great.
Yeah. This is just hard to pick at all. If I asked you to pick,
I love that pick. I would love Littleton to lead the team in interceptions. It'd be fantastic.
True or false? Texas's defense will hold every opponent under 30 points, and this is just regular season. We're not going to talk about playoffs yet. Last year we had 4 games where we gave up 30 plus.
So I'm gonna, false. I even looked back because I saw that when you sent the questions. I was like, did we even do this like my year? And we didn't. We obviously had one. We let one team beat us, and that was Oklahoma. And that was the only one. So I'm out of pure bias and selfishness here. I'm gonna go false.
I'm gonna go false too. I think this is really hard in modern football. For 2 reasons. One, you could run into an elite offense paired with an elite quarterback. Then also, man, like the defense is going to have a rough game at some point. And I didn't really factor, what if they get a special teams or whatever. It was just flat 30. I think this is false, but I don't think we give up 30 plus in 4 games. So
I think Nick Saban says it really good, and like football just kind of comes down. I know obviously it's who scores more points, but it's like essentially just like a 7-on-7 battle sometimes out there is what he's like getting at.
I wrote this one for you guys. True or false? The pass rush will be the one that determines the outcome against elite opponents.
False. I'm going to go with our interior. I'm going to go with like our ability to play the run in the interior.
I knew that. That's why I wrote it. When I was writing it, I was like, I'm going to get a false here. Drew, what do you think?
False.
I agree. False. So it's stopping the run game and frustrating them. And then you can get into pass rush situations. But you
earn the right to pass rush.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree too. So false, the pass rush will not determine the outcome against elite opponents. All right, let's talk some schedule ones here. True or false? Ohio State is Texas's toughest game.
Yeah, true.
I'm going to say false.
Okay. Is there one that's sticking out to you that's making that false, Drew?
I just think, we have all summer to prepare for Ohio State at home, at night. Everything is going to be kind of, when you talk about the talent in the roster, of course, but I don't care how you slice it, playing on the road at LSU later in the season once they figure themselves out. I don't see how that's
about that one too. That's a good one. The other one I was thinking of.
Just wait. We won't elaborate on that one. There might be something about that coming up.
But so the answer is no. I'd throw LSU out there on the road. I'd throw Tennessee on the road, even depending on how they look. I'd throw A&M on the road later in the season. Just as far as
fantastic
where things are later in the season, just a huge difference between now and having your first game.
That's so true.
I think you could play this 2 ways. Are they the best team that you will play on paper? I think that is true. But I just think there's a bunch of other games, and it's a bunch against. So the odds are it will not be the toughest game. Even if you lost, I still don't think it's the toughest game that you can necessarily face. I just think the schedule is too stacked. I think someone else is going to be a tougher game, even though Ohio State's an awesome football team. True or false? That's why I didn't want you guys to get ahead of yourselves. True or false? LSU will be Texas's toughest road game.
True.
True.
Now we're going to play A&M on the road too. We'll talk about that, but I think it is true. I think Kiffin's going to have something for us. Jet didn't like that. I think we're going to have something. We're going to have.
I'm thinking about A&M.
I think we're going to have something for. They're going to have something for us. I think they're really talented, and of course the stadium. So I think it is true. LSU will be Texas's toughest road game. True or false? Texas will finish 11-1 or better.
True. For sure. If we lose a game, I'm going to be very upset.
True. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Jet here on true. It's not that I don't see all the landmines, but I do think the way the schedule unfolds, where we have our home games versus our away games, just the way things line up where our opponents, A&M has a pretty big game before they play us. I think they play Oklahoma on the road. There's some things that work in our favor that just didn't. So, and we have depth and talent to kind of withstand some things. So I want to see it happen.
I could fence right here, because I think Drew made an excellent point. The schedule overall is very hard, but there's not a ton of back-to-back death going on here. There's little moments where it's okay, you can catch your breath for a second before the next elite team. There's a lot of elite teams, but I'm going to ultimately just go with false. and I'm going to say 10-2. I'm going to go with Victor Santiago here because this is the hardest schedule Texas football has ever played. And then if you add the playoffs to that, it might be if you played the schedule and won the national championship, it'd be the hardest season ever, not even close. So I just think
I don't freaking care. Let's go win every freaking game. Like, God, somebody's got to do it.
We're here to do hard things.
Oh, man. Yeah,
They'll just be freaking average. Jesus Christ.
We're here to do hard things. Sorry.
Every
so
game.
I will go 10. I will go 10-2, which is close to it. All right, next up, true or false? Texas will go undefeated at home.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, so what do we got home-wise? We got Texas State, Ohio State, UTSA. We have Florida at home, Ole Miss at home, Mississippi State at home, and Arkansas. I think that's true.
I think that's true.
Yeah, with a close win over Ohio State. I think Texas will go undefeated at home.
My favorite home game out of the entire season I'm looking forward to is Ole Miss. Late October, the weather should be all right. Hopefully we get it at night. We got a great quarterback, offense, defense coming in to DKR. Like that's the home game that just stands out to me.
I think Ole Miss will be a lot of fun too. So yeah, true from all of us on undefeated at home. All right. True or false, A&M will be the toughest of the rivalry games?
False.
False.
False. I agree. False as well. I think OU made the playoffs last year and they weren't that good.
I think OU is always good. Like
their offense was nothing last year and they still made the playoffs. They have a way better offense.
This year will be healthy. They've lost to us like 3 years in a row now or something.
Yeah.
I know how that feels. It sucks. So like it's just like you don't want to go like another whole year of like without the hat, you know.
I think Oklahoma will be the tougher matchup as well.
Yeah, like I think just because like they're just so hungry, you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those intangible games where it's like, whoever's the better man that day, you know.
I mean, hell,
cool.
Every little detail. They have real tight ends this year.
Mm-hmm. They should actually have running backs. They can do anything.
Wasn't Mateer like coming off like an injury too or something?
Yeah, he had a hand injury.
Yeah, he was like basically playing very gingerly and just not up to standard. And
unfortunately, man, from not having
the team, and they're like, well,
they didn't have much on offense, man, and they still made the playoffs. They're gonna have more on offense, unfortunately. So, yeah, I do agree. And plus, yeah, that game's wild. Now let's go into our final segment here. This is postseason specific topics. True or false, Arch Manning will be invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony?
True.
Let's go win it 100%.
I was going to say, I thought about winning it, but I lighten this one. I think it's true.
Maybe he'll have his Vince Young moment and then just go win the national championship. But, you know, even though Vince Young is still Vince Young, this guy's got this thing called his last name.
Yep.
That's going to help. That could get you over the edge. You know what I mean?
Yep. So we all think true. He will be a Heisman official final.
Yeah. I expect it. You know what I mean? If you just like continue to play like he did the last half of the season, especially when things got flowing, I feel like he was like on fire.
Yeah.
I'm also clearly a former teammate of his and big believer. So
you guys think that we'll go 11-1 or better. So this is kind of a no-brainer for y'all. But true or false, Texas will reach the college football playoff?
Absolutely.
It's true.
True to me as well. This one's not that exciting.
I'm going into coaching if we don't like.
True or false, Texas will win the SEC championship?
Will reach the SEC championship? Or
I changed it on the fly. Will win the SEC championship.
I feel like that might be one of the hardest games is like getting that.
Yeah.
It's a tough game, but I think we got to get it this year.
Yeah.
I just think
this year, like I just think this is the best year to do it.
First of all, just they're capable. That's the thing is I think we assumed there were some things we were capable of last year. And as we got through the season, we saw the deficiencies and now we know we just have a different baseline. I just think this year, Sark knows if he's going to do any of this stuff, it has to be this year. And not that changes his motivation, but and even though it's going to be challenging, but yeah, they could do it.
So true from both of you on the SEC champion?
Go ahead and say false.
No, I'll actually go true here
Okay.
on SEC championship game. And it's a little bit of Drew's or Jets logic, where it's just like, well, what kind of team do you need to win the SEC championship?
What do you want from us?
Yeah,
What do you want from us?
you need like an NFL All-Pro team. Like
We're talking about cap space in college. What do you want?
Yeah. All right, true or false? Texas will reach the national championship.
I think that's true.
Yeah, but I'm not going there to lose. Freaking, come on, dude. I'm not even.
No,
I can't
I just honestly
put this energy into the world besides excellence and winning.
This all goes back to Arch Manning, dude. I mean, Arch he can carry a team. We saw him carry a team when we didn't have a run game. When we were trying to figure some things out, I saw him carry a team when he wasn't getting the protection from the O-line. So I just think if all other things are true, meaning we have actually upgraded. I heard Trevor Gooseby last week at SEC Media Day saying they were operating as individuals last year. And they're really close-knit, tight, that they're operating as a group. They watch film and understand what they did not do as an O-line. So there are some things and some self-scouting that I've been hearing, both publicly and non-publicly, that I just think they have a good sense of who they were, but where they needed to go. So I think all hands on deck for this one.
I will go reach the championship game. I'll actually go true there. We are able to almost get there, and I think this team is more talented. And I think Sark too, after having kind of an embarrassing start to the season, at least last year, I think he's more locked in. I think they will reach it. I would probably say false on winning it today, but I think they will get there. All right. True or false? I tweaked this one too, Drew. True or false? Texas will produce at least 4 first-round NFL picks.
Ooh, that's
3 was easy. 4.
3 was too easy. Yeah.
We have enough dice to roll to think another guy can get in there, right? I mean,
we know Colin, Trevor, and Arch are going to go in the first.
Colin, Trevor, Arch, Jelani.
Can Cam not go? Is he not old enough?
Cam can go.
Yep.
Cam can go. Jelani, I mean, safeties don't go, but he's the type of player, if he maximizes this year, he's going to measure well. He's going to perform well on the measurables. We'll see.
I think it's true.
I think it's true. I think we have enough wild cards to make that 4th spot.
Yeah. I don't think it won't even necessarily have to be a wild card, with Cam. So it's like, and then, it depends. Will Arch go pro? We're assuming Arch will go pro. That's a factor. I think we'll get to 4. I think 5 is where you get, which is a crazy situation to be.
Yeah, I mean, 5 would be really cool.
But 5 is where, because you're hearing Biles, Jelani.
Biles, I think, will be like the edge. Like, he'll be like, if there's a 5th, it'll be Biles, and he'll be like.
I think they'll get him on being like 220. I think they'll get him, and he'll be like early 2nd round. Like,
yeah, then he'll run like a 4.3, and then everybody's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And everybody's just like, oh my God, freaking, I gotta have it.
I just think look at Alshire with the Texans. Like look at the guys who perform really well in the NFL.
Yeah, don't trick yourself sometimes, man. Like 10 pounds or proving that guy's a star. Like don't trick yourself, man.
No.
All right. Yeah, I think 4 is true. I think 5, this is awesome to think through it. I think 5 is where it's tricky. All right, true or false? Final one. Arch Manning will be, and this is not that he's going to stay. Just get rid of that. Arch Manning will be the number 1 pick in the 2027 NFL draft.
Yeah, I've already pretty much told all my coworkers that is 100% going to happen. So.
Do you think he's number 1?
Yeah, he'll be number 1.
Do you think he's number 1?
Yeah, he'll be. I think that's true. If he has a season I expect him to have, like we cannot overstate or understate how much he grew. Like if you go back and watch the film again, I know it's hard to watch it with like rosy glasses because the result of our season wasn't what we expected it to be. So it's kind of like, was it enough? But yeah, man, like he should. Simmons has number 1 talent, but Arch will be the number 1 guy.
I think it's tricky, right? Like, because Arch's name too. It's like, do you ever want to be the GM that was like trying to make a hipster pick and turn down a Manning? Because here's my thing: even if I was a GM and Arch wasn't truly the number one pick, say Moore is a better prospect,
right?
Just on the field, it does not matter, because in 10 years, who do I think is going to be the dominant NFL quarterback? I think it's going to be Arch Manning. So even that thing too is tricky. I think it is true. But it's not just homerism from Texas Homer. I think there could actually be players that could be a number one pick. I just think there's bigger factors here at play too.
Sells tickets.
Yep. Yeah, jerseys.
Yep. All right, boys. We got through our true and false. We gave the people what was reality and what was not. Everyone head over to Inside Texas. Join for $1, then 50% off your first year. The season is about to start. Camp is starting the 5th. That means Eric's going to be dropping all this team intel, all this stuff you can't get from the people that steal it and try to put it on Twitter. All of that, man. You're going to get the good stuff on Inside Texas. We would love to see you over there. Everyone have an awesome evening. Sayonara.